All right, good afternoon. Let's start with some current events, some things that I'm going to bet you're probably not aware of. So tomorrow morning, our local council has been invited to participate in the Habitat for Humanity build here in Muskogee, help a local family out. If you're not familiar with Habitat for Humanity, they help low-income families establish permanent housing, and it's something here locally. It's something we'll be supporting in the coming weeks. According to the Habitat for Humanity's website, in 2013, they helped just under 125,000 families with permanent housing. It's a pretty well-known organization and something that we're excited to be supporting as a local council. Also next week, we'll be kicking off our backpack drive, and this year we've got more backpacks to distribute than we ever have. We've got almost 700 to give out to local schools. We've already got the supplies up front. The backpacks are there. The school supplies are there, but we're going to need participation to help put those together and make sure they get to the schools that have been selected for this year's giveaway. And then lastly, in September, we're starting to plan for an event where we're going to partner with a foundation called The Soldier's Child. The Soldier's Child, that organization was founded to help recognize kids who have lost their parents during active duty. So basically, if their mom or dad was a soldier that was killed in Iraq or Afghanistan or something like that, this organization has been set up to recognize them on their birthday and provide them presents and let them know that we haven't forgot about the sacrifice that their family made. It's a really great thing, something that I've had an opportunity to participate in. It'll be our council's first time to support this, but there's going to be a lot more information coming out about this, and it'll be a really exciting deal. Today, what I want to focus on is our local council, what it is, how to participate, and why it's important right now. I'm going to guess that the majority of you guys probably have heard about the council, but you probably don't really understand it, how it works, kind of what it's all about. So hopefully I can clarify some of those things and encourage your participation in the future. So first, to start off, what is it? It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization that's been established by our company to help enable us to give back to our local community. And according to this website, basically what a 501c3 is just an IRS tax exemption, which means anything that I donate to the foundation, I get to write off from my taxes. Anything the foundation receives, they're not going to be taxed for. So it's a really good opportunity to give back without having to worry about losing out on any taxes or anything of that nature. Here's some facts about the foundation and our community. I'll start off with some facts about our foundation. Since 2010, we've raised almost $37,000, actually a little bit over $37,000, all from mainly associate contributions. So this is through payroll contributions, through small fundraisers, things of that nature. But that's an incredible amount of money if you consider this just basically Muskogee people that have been throwing into this fund since 2010. Of that $37,000, $30,000 that has already been redispersed into the community to local charities and nonprofit organizations. And as it notes up here, of that $30,000, there's about 30 different nonprofits that we support. The great thing about our council is that the associates get to decide where that money goes, and so we get a lot of variety. We get to touch a lot of different people that have needs through that. In addition to the money that we've raised and distributed in the community, we volunteered just under 2,000 hours. And as we go through the habitat process and the backpack distribution, and then a soldier's child later on this year, I'm sure that we'll be well above 2,000 hours. This is all really important because if you look at some facts that were gathered here from the Census Bureau's website, Muskogee County has a pretty high poverty rate. Of the residents just in Muskogee County, about 22.5% are considered to be below the poverty level, which calculates out to about 16,000 people. Compared to the rest of the state, that's a little bit higher. So there's a need here without question, as you can tell from these statistics and also from the number of nonprofit groups that we found that want our support. So why do you guys need to be aware of this? Well, it's a great opportunity, first of all. And usually when there's an opportunity, there's a benefit for you personally. And as I was doing some research on the internet, I come across an article that was on Forbes magazine, and their contributor, Drew Hendricks, did an entire write-up about why companies have nonprofit organizations. And so he listed out 5 benefits here. The first one is it makes you feel better about yourself. That's something that everybody pretty much hears. If you never had the chance to help somebody else that needs help, then from my experience, you always feel better about it after you're done. It just gives you a really good feeling. Next thing he has listed is networking. And what that means is that you get to know the people you work with a little better. You know, if it's somebody that works in receiving that you're not around that often, or maybe it's somebody that works in customer care or in a different part of the company. Whenever we come together for these events, you get to know those people a little bit better. And besides the people you work with, you also meet people from other companies. So that's a great opportunity that can have a lot of benefit. The next thing he lists is marketing. And I can tell you that marketing is not a big deal for us. It is part of the, part of giving back to the community. A lot of times the charities appreciate it so much they want to recognize you. They want to give you some type of publicity and pay you back somehow, and that's how they do it. But marketing is really not a big deal for us. But occasionally when we participate in things that, I would anticipate as we give out the number of backpacks that we're about to, or do the Soldiers Child Foundation, you'll probably see some publicity about that. The last two is it boosts workplace morale and it boosts worker confidence. Again, I would agree with all of these things. As I've contributed and participated in foundation events, I can tell you that all these things are true. There's just a tremendous amount of benefit anytime you give back to the community through one of these opportunities that we have. Next, we want to talk about how can you participate. This is probably the most important part of the whole council, because without participation from the people in the warehouse, we're not going to have a council, or it's going to be an extremely weak council. So the first thing is you can help communicate the opportunity, kind of like what I'm doing today. Just make sure people are aware of it, make sure they know we have one, make sure that they know it's active, and give, spread the word about what we're doing, what kind of things we're participating in, the Habitat for Humanity, the backpacks, things of that nature. As we raise awareness, we'll grow more interest and hopefully get more participation through that. So that's one thing you can do. Next, you can recommend charitable organizations. This is something that I did and that really hooked me on our foundation, is that I recognized a need that a friend had, and I attended a meeting and I presented that need to the council and they approved it. And they've partnered with them ever since, and it's helped me stay engaged and interested in what the foundation is doing, and I really appreciated it. Somebody who was already given, small contributions through payroll, it meant a lot to me to be able to say, hey, I know somebody that needs something, and they were able to meet that need, or at least help meet that need. Next, attend meetings, similar to what all of you are doing today. This makes a difference, and it counts as participation. The meetings in the future will be more specific to the foundation. But meetings are really important. That's why you have safety meetings or anything else, because that's your chance to brainstorm, to throw ideas out there, to make sure everybody's on the same page and that things are headed in the right direction. So even if you can't do any of the other things, just attending the meetings can make a difference and keep you aware of what's going on. Volunteer service, really important one right here. Things like the backpacks and the supplies in the front, they're not going to pack themselves. Corporate sent all the supplies down to us, but it takes the associates their volunteer time to come and pack those things. That's what we're going to have to do before we can send them out to the schools. So volunteer service is critical in any project that we do. Typically, like with the backpacks, no one from the outside is going to come and do that. They probably would if we asked, but we have enough people here that we should be able to pull off whatever volunteer time is needed. Last is monetary contributions, and this is one that a lot of times, kind of makes people uncomfortable, but I will tell you, that the way our company is set up, the monetary thing, I really like it and I appreciate it. You can go into HRIS, you can put whatever amount you want on your payroll deduct. It can be $1, anything you want, and it just automatically comes out. You never miss it or whatever. At the end of the year, it's all calculated for you, so you can write it off on your taxes, and nobody knows anything about it. Nobody knows how much money I give, all the way up to the president, down to whoever. And so it's a way for me to be involved when I can't communicate or participate and attend meetings and stuff. I'm still participating in the foundation by giving money, because I'm enabling other people, to go out and carry out those good works. Something else that I really like about contributing to our foundation as opposed to other things that are out there is that I have a say-so in where that money goes. So like I mentioned earlier, I was already given a very small amount to the foundation through my payroll, but, when I was able to recognize a need in the community, I was able to present that, and it got fulfilled. So I felt like that I was getting a huge return on my investment. I'd only given a small amount, but because the foundation, everybody was working together to support that, it ended up being a really big benefit. So monetary contributions are definitely an important part of that. So why is this important right now? Basically, really why I want to encourage your participation today and raise awareness is because in the past, things like the backpack drive and the Habitat Project and the Soldier's Child Foundation, things like that, they would have all been handled across town at Shawnee. We had our foundation was split between the offices and between the warehouse, and the majority of the time the meetings were over there. It was just able to be more organized. There was more commitment, more involvement, and a lot of the ideas and things that were shared happened over there. But that office is not there anymore. So it's up to this facility and the people working in it, everyone under this roof, including myself, Jamie, everyone, to make sure that the foundation continues to operate, that we have meetings, that we spread the communication. But we can't do that without your participation. So, basically what I wanted to do today is share with you that the foundation is alive and well. We have projects on the board, but we're really hurting for help. So in the coming weeks, you'll see a lot of information start to be posted in different places. I'm going to work with Chris to get a bulletin board put up. And as you see that stuff, if you'll just recognize it, and ask questions if you have them, and just consider it. You don't have to do every event or anything like that. This is completely voluntary. It's a really simple and great thing that, like I said, there's a lot of benefit from. So that's really all I have to share at this time. And if you have any questions afterwards, let me know. Thanks.